Greetings, people. 'Tis I, 480 volts, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. Now, first off, let me apologize for taking so long to get this one out. But if you guys know the game, then you may have an idea as to why this is taking so long. So let's explain a little bit. So Final Fantasy games, at least for the first 9 entries, always walked this line where they were not quite full-on open-world exploration, and they were not terribly linear. Like, you want a really linear RPG of, say, the 90s, I would say The Legend of Dragoon. And Final Fantasy games were always more open than that, but they were not, like, super open world, like, you know, they weren't like Dark Souls or anything like that, which, you know, I guess a lot of that stuff wasn't happening for a while, but I mean, I guess you could say the original Legend of Zelda was pretty open world. But anyway, they were always, you know, they walked this line where they gave you a large world to explore, but they only let you explore so much of it at a time, and yada yada yada. Then Final Fantasy X comes out in, you know, 2001, I believe, and it's super linear. It's point A to point B, basically, and I have no problems with that. But there you go. Well, then they do Final Fantasy XI, Square Enix, and they decide to make that one an MMO, which, by the way, we're not going to play that one because, like I said, it's an MMO. That's not really suitable for Let's Playing, regardless of how fun you may or may not have with it. Besides, I don't even think you can play it anymore. There may not be any way to play it at this day and age. You know, you want to play an online Final Fantasy now, you do Final Fantasy XIV. But anyway, in 2006, Square Enix made Final Fantasy XII, and they decided to go full-on open world, or as much as they could. The game still has a very linear story, if that makes sense. But yeah, you are basically in a big open world. And I say that to say I have agonized how I should approach this Let's Play because, well, I mean, just doing the main story is one thing, but there's like so much extra and optional content to do. And, yeah, it can take a long time. And part of the reasons why this LP took so long is because I was doing a test run to make sure I could actually do what I planned to do. And yeah, I can, but so here's how it's going to go down. Obviously, you know, we're going to do the main story, obviously. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do, and for people who have played the game know what this is, I'm going to do every hunt and every Esper and almost every side quest. There's like 2 particular side quests in the game that I'm not going to do. And it's not because like they're so challenging or difficult or anything. One of them is just, well, they're both just tedious. And the other one is kind of hard for me to do. And in my opinion, they're just not worth the trouble. So I just can't be bothered to do them. So I'll be sure to like point them out when the time comes, but it won't be for quite some time. They're like little side quests that I just can't be bothered to do. But I'll try to do the rest of them, most of the big ones. And I will not be doing any of the rare games or the rare treasure. Again, that just takes a lot for too little. So, and if you don't know what I mean by rare treasure, because what's a rare treasure in a Final Fantasy game, right? Well, without spoiling too much of the gameplay we're about to get into, this game randomizes your treasure chests, oddly enough. Like, when you find a treasure chest, it may contain a certain item the first time you get it, and then if you were to like reload and get it again, it may contain a different item. Items are randomized, and they're not like randomized from every single item in the game. Like, you can't like the very first chest you find, there's not a possibility that you could find the ultimate weapon or something like that. No. They're randomized from a small selection of items. It's usually about 2 or 3 items that it could be. And there are some chests that have the possibility to contain some really ultra rare stuff. And sometimes just getting the chest to appear is pretty rare too. But that takes a lot of RNG manipulation, which I don't feel like getting into. Again, I don't think it's worth it. Now, there is one particular chest, almost endgame, that I will get. It's ultra rare. and it takes some serious RNG manipulation. I'll get it because, not for bragging rights, I'll get it because it's useful for something else. But yeah, we're not going to be doing most of that. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to do the rare games. There are certain enemies in this game that they're more powerful than the average, you know, run-of-the-mill enemy, the average garden variety monster. And it's not that they're too powerful for me. It's, again, they're rare, and getting them to show up is half the battle. Sometimes it's just a raw, like it's just a simple matter of you leaving an area and coming back enough times until they finally show up. And other times you have to do crazy things to get them to spawn. It's just a lot of trouble for no real good reward, other than bragging rights. It goes into your bestiary, and I'm sure you would get a sort of trophy. But I will be doing every hunt. And for people who have played the game, you know how long that can take and how much work that is. I feel like that's enough. I feel like getting every hunt and every Esper is enough to say, you know what, I've done enough in this game, because in my test run, I did it. I made sure I could, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work. But we're gonna enjoy it. Now, another thing I've agonized over is which version to play. Now, you can already tell just by your screen which version I'm playing, because this is clearly HD widescreen, so you obviously know which version I'm playing. But let's just go ahead and talk about it for the two of you who don't know. The game originally came out in in 2006, right? On the original, it came out on the PlayStation 2, all right? Well, a few years later, an international version of sorts, quote unquote, was released, but it was only released in Japan, which isn't really international. But they changed a lot of stuff around. I say that to say that version was given an HD remaster, and that is what is now available multi-console. It's called Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. And if you want to play Final Fantasy XII nowadays, you pretty much have to play that version. And I thought about doing an emulator for the PS2 version, but I'm going to go with this one. So yes, we are going to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. Let's get this game going. We're going to start a new game file. Now, you're going to see a couple of files already present because, like I said, I've already... Well, actually, no, you're not going to see that just yet. Oh, it's going to ask us how we want to play the game. I do like how they give us these options right from the get-go. You can change them later, literally any other time. Let's see. I want to change... Excuse me. About the only thing I want to change is the camera x-axis to inverted. For no reason. Like, that's just how I'm used to it. You can do whatever you want. For music, this here is the original PS2 soundtrack as it, you know, sounded back then. This here is if you were to download it off of, like, the internet. It's the available OST, which sounds marginally, at best, different than this. And then this is reorchestrated for the HD remaster. At times, I will be playing the reorchestrated, but I think for now we'll stick with the original because I think I like it just a little bit better. And then that's all I can do for now. Oh wait, I definitely want vibration on, and I'll put screen shake on, and definitely subtitles on, and we should be good to go. But yeah, I've agonized whether or not I should play this version or if I should do a PS2 ROM, because this is not like Final Fantasy X where the HD remaster changed like one or two things. They changed a lot, and not a lot of it is for the better, in my opinion. In fact, a lot of people do not like this version of the game. They say they wish they could play the original. I agree. I wish Square Enix would give us the option, but let's actually... No, I don't want to do that. Where's return? Oh, begin the game. Let's do this. Let's begin this adventure. For the record, I love this game. It's really good. My only knock on the game is the story, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say that now so viewers don't get their hopes up. This story is not that amazing. But these graphics, oh man. Okay, year 704, Old Valdian, Kingdom of Dalmasca, the royal city of Rabanastre. These graphics, oh my gosh. And this atmosphere, this is bar none my favorite atmosphere of any Final Fantasy game. This is so beautifully steampunk with just enough medieval elements, but there is some stuff that's so like futuristic. Yes, there's a lot of mimicry of Star Wars. Not gonna lie, like this right here makes me think of like the end of the Phantom Menace. There's also some mimicry of Lord of the Rings, I feel. Oh, you can tell these two are important. You can tell she's important because she's pretty. He's pretty too. I don't mean that in a good way. He's a pretty boy. I'm sure he's a nice dude. He just look. Are they getting married? Because they look like they're 12. I'm just saying.
In the name of the Father and in the presence of these holy relics,
Who you calling a relic?
pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity.
I actually think they're 17. Maybe in Japan that's acceptable for marriage. But if memory serves, they are actually 17. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love this atmosphere. Now those weird, well, I'll talk about it later. But see, now this guy,
If following this, Arcadia should launch an attack by both land and air, our kingdom will stand little.
Nabudis has fallen.
see, this makes me think of Lord of the Rings.
My father? I know not. I am sorry.
Nabudis, huh? Your father.
Nabudis has indeed fallen. It is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
Secure Nalbina with all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
You sure that's a good idea? I mean, aren't you due for a honeymoon with your blushing bride? Yeah, now you cannot tell me that this right here is not a ripoff of Star Wars. This is absolutely Star Wars ripoff. And you know what? I'm here for it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be making a lot of Star Wars references. But can you imagine back in the PlayStation 2? These are easily some of the best graphics on the PlayStation 2, bar none. And this music, oh my gosh.
Stand watch over your life.
This soundtrack is glorious.
Should I be considered worthy?
It's the first mainline game, you know, unless you count 10-2, that was a sequel. It's the first standalone mainline game that was not scored by Uematsu, and man, did they do a good job. I mean, 10-2 wasn't scored by Uematsu either, but like 10-2's, like it's a mainline game, but you know what I mean. This one's not a sequel. This is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, look at this. We have laser guns over castles. This is amazing. And then we got these guys with spears. Like, this is incredible. I love this atmosphere. Also, there were totally, like, alien/animal looking thingies, anthropomorphic, in the crowds earlier. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that. Love it that he's riding the chocobos. But yeah, this right here, I'm thinking of like the battle at Helm's Deep. That's some strong arrows you got right there to pierce a knight's armor. Let me guess, he had really good aim and he hit him in his neck. When he says the paling, he means a shield. Uh-oh. So like you can see that there's laser fire not hitting the city because there's like a Star Trek style shield. There, I've managed to reference Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Star Trek.
The paling's fallen. Then it's over. For my father. For my father!
For Frodo! Oh, I mean, wait.
Lord Rasler!
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and reference Marvel. That guy reminds me of Thor. Oh, well, not him. No, he now reminds me of Boromir. Needs about 2 more arrows and he'll be Boromir. But no, the other guy. The other guy reminds me of Thor. Not so much now. Wait till he gets his normal outfit. So the girly looking boy who just got married, his name is Rossler, and he's not looking too good right now. They slow it down just for that little thing right there. Yeah, no. This is what I look for in a Final Fantasy environment.
Blessings of the Great Father descend and guide your bodies return to the earth.
Yeah. He's dead, girl. You have to find... That means she's single, guys. She's available.
Spirits return to the mother of all.
Oh, not that I want her.
There you shall find peace.
She's young enough to be my daughter. Oh my god. You know, I never realized that they keep saying Farum at the very beginning. They stopped saying that, like, very early on, and they haven't said that for the rest of the game, and it's a long game, so I completely forgot that they've been saying that at the very beginning. Final Fantasy XII. Yes, we know.
The death of Lord Rasla Heos Nabradia was but one of many tragedies to befall the Kingdom of Dalmasca.
And we got an in-game narrator.
Hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, 2 great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice. Arcadia in the east, Rosaria the west.
What's better than 1 empire? 2.
The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march.
But Arcadia's like the empire.
With Lord Rassla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca.
And Ivalice is the
The
world.
fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces.
It's the Spira of this game.
A counterattack was mounted by the Order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender.
Yeah, it's a peaceful surrender.
Lord Romanos, King of Dalmasca,
Submit to us and
my
we'll be
dear
peaceful.
friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon, for a terrible revelation awaited them.
What, they learned it was all a trap?
The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
That's usually how it works. Memoirs of the Marquis Hallam Ondor IV, Chapter 12 on the Fall of Kingdoms. Okay, remember that name. Marquis Ondor. And if you think I'm pronouncing Marquis wrong,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm pronouncing it the way this game does.
It's as I feared. They're slowing us down.
You're slowing us down.
Say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland.
Oh, it's that guy again.
Your name?
Reks, sir.
Reks?
Name's Reks.
Nice to meet you, Reks.
Reks.
My name's 480.
You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand?
Yeah, walk it off, bro. Oh, the other guy kind of looks like Wolverine.
Think you can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
How old are you, Reks?
17, sir.
Young. Family?
By RPG standards, you're a
Is all I have left,
middle-aged adult.
He's 2 years younger than I. living in Rabanaster.
That's 15 for those of you who don't know how to do math.
So young. You're barely old enough to be a man. You shouldn't be forced to wield a sword.
This is a good
sir.
sword.
I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they act, or all our efforts will be in vain.
Okay, Logan. All right, now we got a name for...
We found them!
We got a name for the Thor-looking guy. Bosch.
Vossler, go ahead. I will handle this rabble.
Oh, Vossler. I didn't realize it was Vossler. I know who he is.
Godspeed.
Well, you know how to use a sword.
Steady, Reks. Keep your wits about you and you'll make it.
Reks is like, I have to do that? Alright, after that huge long... Okay, I gotta say, I do love the opening cutscene. It just gets you right into the atmosphere. Alright, Bosch, you must always be mindful of your surroundings. Use the right stick to look around. It's a useful way to spot Imperials. Go on, give it a try. Okay, try using the right stick to adjust the viewing angle. Yeah, we're stuck in a tutorial. Yeah, you just move the camera around with the right stick. I do like that you can do that. Use the left stick to move, Reks. Tilt it slightly to walk and further to run. I suppose I should be doing his voice. You can walk, yes? Come, stand before me. That's not really his voice. Alright, yeah, and of course you use the control stick, the other control stick to move around. Interesting fact, in Final Fantasy X, you could still use the D-pad to move around. You cannot in this game. D-pad will have other uses. But yeah, we can use the camera to fully... We can use the right stick to fully move our camera around, and it's glorious. Just about fully. I love it. Alright, let's go up and talk to him. Do you see the marker above my head? That's a talk icon. You can talk to any character showing one of these. To talk to someone, approach them and press X. Try talking to your friend by the gate. Who, him? He's not my friend. I've met him a couple times. I never really liked him. He was always making eyes at my mother before she died. Matter of fact, he was the last person to see her before she died. You know what? Let me slay him in the name of glory and honor. Dalmaskin. Hi, Dalmaskin. That's not his name. Life is worth too much to throw away, Reks. Do what you can, but don't try to be a hero. Is that what you told my mother? You little scumbag. Save the hero stories for your brother once we're back in Rabanaster. Just listen to the captain and we'll get through this. We'll enter the fortress through this gate. We must go. Alright, so now, go to the Iron Gate. This is all tutorial stuff. See the marker above your head? That's called an action icon. One of these will appear when you approach the door. A switch, an item, or the like. To learn more about what you found, walk closer and the icon will change. Then press X. Now try opening the gate. I got this, bro. Iron Gate. Yeah, I can open an Iron Gate. Yeah, I opened an Iron Gate. Did I win? It is time. We will drive back any Imperials standing between us and the King. Dalmasca's future hangs in the balance. Stay focused on the foes before you, Reks. I will watch rearward. I cannot talk. Don't be watching my rear. I appreciate that you got my 6, but I don't want you watching that part of it. You can open the party menu by pressing the triangle button. From the party menu, you can examine your equipment and inventory. And yeah, I'm playing this on PlayStation. Alright, we got our first enemy. That red line is a hostile target line. Take heed, you're being targeted. When a foe targets you, the line is red. When you target a foe, the line is blue. If you see a red line, look for foes at once. They are not readily apparent, use the right stick to look around. When you've found them, press X to open the battle menu. Once you've selected attack and targeted a foe, close the distance with using the left stick. You'll automatically attack until your foe is defeated. You can change targets or actions at any time. If your HP falls, press X and select items from the battle menu and use a potion. After using an item, you will automatically resume your previous action. There is no need to input your commands again. You can do it, Reks. Show me. I'll be explaining battles a little bit more in detail later. For right now, just walk up to this guy, press the X button, it brings up this menu. Attack, magic and techniques, or items. Let's select attack, and it's gonna show us a list of items. He's the only one, the Imperial Swordsman. Let's attack him. Ow. How about that? And I got friends that are helping me. I don't even have to hit the attack button to get... Well, never mind, I apparently do, because he wasn't attacking again. Alright, well, let's just follow the crew. Let's stick with the crew.
Captain?
Captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. Huh. That can't be good. Alright, we got a boss fight against Air Cutter Remora, and I love this boss music. Oh, you know what? Let's go into config, and let's change the battle speed to fast. Definitely want to do that. Is there anything else I need to do? No, we're good for now. So he's just gonna keep attacking. Now, what I can do is I can go into magic if you want. He has some magic at his disposal. He has cure magic, and he has thunder. This is a machine type enemy. Let's throw some thunder at it. Yeah, that did good damage. Unfortunately, he did good damage to me. You can't lose this battle. If you lose, well, you could, I suppose. If you lose this battle, you're dumb. Dun, 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 dun. Love this music. He's already done. Yeah, you get him to about half health and he just dies. Or the battle ends, I should say. Bosch always trying to one-up me. That right there, my friends, is called a quickening. We'll be seeing that later. Much later.
Lion, this is Sunbury. My engines are hit. She'll not hold much longer.
Maybe get out of there?
Receive you, Sunbury. You've leave to retire. Well fought. My thanks, Lion. Sunbury disengaging.
Okay, well, we beat him. Oh, well, thanks for the potion, Joe. Oh, I like that Joe. He just be giving me potions when I need them. All right, let's just attack. Don't worry about like experience and leveling up and all that stuff like that. We'll talk about that later. Right now, I'm just trying to get through the tutorial portions. But yeah, you can see our health bars. But yeah, our battles are much more, we don't have a separate battle screen. We're much more live action this time. They're still turn-based, or active turn-based, but yeah. So that's cool. There is no simple way through the fortress. The minimap at the top right of your screen may not be enough to gain your bearings. Should you lose your way, consult your location map. By clicking the touchpad button, this will bring up the map of the fortress we gave you before we set out. If you are still find yourself at a loss, pressing the L3 button will allow you to view the location map as you move. Navigate your way through as you see fit. Yeah, so what he means is if I press the touch bar on the PlayStation 5 controller or PlayStation 4, I can see the map, right? And obviously I have a mini-map on the upper right corner. Well, if I press the control stick, the left control stick, if I press it, I got this thing here. Very useful. I don't think... the original PlayStation 2 had the mini-map and it had this, but I think this was added to the Zodiac version, so that's cool. The little feature we have. I'll be using it a lot. It's seriously helpful. And it breaks certain parts of the game later that were not intended to be broken.
Where are you?
Crap, we lost Vossler.
What if Captain Ozilus has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense.
Yeah, Reks.
Vossler's laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now.
Yeah.
Men like him don't die in places like this.
He drank milk that was past the expiration
We
date.
must make haste to reach the king. We will take him to safety.
He's a real
Is His
man.
Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty?
Wait.
That could be a problem.
Quickly, Reks.
Well, Viceroy, I suppose we should discuss a new treaty. Alright, I don't think I can go back. These lines right here, they indicate zone lines. When you pass through them, you'll enter a new zone. And my this version has something that the original did not have. It has a spiffy autosave feature. Very handy. Ahead we will face many Imperials, but we need not fight them all. Oft-times retreat is the wiser course. Okay, Auron. what did he say? No, don't worry about these ones. Cut the ones that matter and keep going. Should the need arise, press and hold R2 to run from your foes. There is no shame in fleeing from a battle that serves no purpose. Yeah, there is. Actually, there's not. In this game, we'll be running a lot. Not a lot, but like there are times when we'll need to run. Okay, he doesn't just attack normally. I have to initially press the attack button. But yeah, okay. It's not really letting me show because these guys are wiping them out too quick. But we do have an active time bar, and it's cool because before it fills up, you can go ahead and select your next option. Well, you know what? I'll explain it later. It's just not going to give me time to do it now. There's no real point in exploring the area. I don't think there's really anything of interest. We're just going to cut straight to the point. Ooh, what is that? This is a save crystal, Reks. You can save your progress by approaching a save crystal and pressing X. Touching one of these crystals will also fully restore your HP and MP. Though you will gradually recover MP as you move about, it can take time. Do not miss this opportunity to refresh yourself and your allies. There is more I would tell you, but we've no time. Heed the lessons of the battlefield, and you will do well. Come, we must reach His Majesty before it's too late. Yeah, if I had used an EMP, which I had, I guess I had, you would regain it as you walk around, so that's cool. I think it's capped out right now at 42. Now, what's cool is if I press the save crystal, like Final Fantasy X, these restore all of your HP and MP, so that's pretty nice. They cure status ailments and revive fallen party members. Let's go ahead and make our first save of many. Now, I've already got 2 here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, this is hard, guys. This is hard. This is the file, this is my test file that I've been working on that I have sunk, like, almost 90 hours into. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna erase it. I'm gonna overwrite it. It's gone. All my hard work is gone. I mean, I still have my trophies, I guess. Oddly enough, I got a lot of trophies. I got like 70%. I'm surprised. Given it how big this is. Well, okay, it's done. It's done. That's over now. We are in the Nalbina Fortress upper apartments. It's okay. We're gonna fill that one out too. For some reason, well, yeah. Let's continue up this way. I'm gonna keep going for a little bit longer, and then we'll end off the episode.
Intruders! Don't let them escape!
Don't let them escape!
We have little time. You must go to the king.
Yeah, I'll handle this. I got this, bro. I don't need you guys stealing my experience. All right, now that I'm by myself, I can finally like fight these battles a bit more uninhibited or uninterrupted. So like I can go ahead and switch. Like, see how when I enter new commands, it like resets the ATB? That's just something to keep in mind. Okay, but I do have to manually enter commands each time. Okay, looks like he will repeatedly attack the same enemy, but once that enemy dies, I'll have to attack the other guy. Like so. And obviously, if I want to cure, I can just go in here and do that. Again, I will explain far more in greater detail about how these battles work later. Let me just go back to the save point real quick, and let's just go ahead and not really save. I just want to. Actually, I guess I didn't really need to do that. Huh. For some reason, I feel the need to stand here and spam cure spells. I wonder why that could be. Foreshadowing something much later in the game? Possibly? Who knows? Alright, let's continue on. But yeah, each time you go to a new zone, or a different zone, the game autosaves. So that is very handy. That's going to help me a little bit with recording, but it's also, it could be problems if I let it. So, oh, wait, which way do I go? Passage door. Let's open it. Okay, the red X on my map means I need to go that way. Like I said, I'm not going to go look for treasure because there's really nothing to get. I think if I walk around, I could find enemies, but nah, no need. Oh, what's going on here? What's wrong, Reks? Oh, dang, they were all dead. Did the king already sign the treaty and they went ahead and killed him? Or what? What the? He's dead already?
Your Majesty.
Crap. Wait, was that his father? What the? Boss, did you just kill me?
Captain, why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Damaska to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Why does his voice sound different? Crap.
Seize the insurgent. Hello.
Well, we're still alive. Who's that? That's probably nobody important.
So much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect.
Remember that voice.
But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
We can even see his face.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the captain away.
Off you go.
Uh-oh.
Vaughn.
Well, looks like he's dead. Well, that was it, everybody. That was it for Let's Play Final Fantasy XII. Best game ever. No, no, no. I'm kidding. There's still a ton more to do. We are only just beginning. Oh, this LP is going to be massive, but it is going to be glorious. All right. Join me next time, and we will continue our adventure. Thank you so much for watching. My name's 480 Volts. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Pieces.